What's going on,
The
everybody?
one or two people that are here right at the gate.
Sit right at the gate, ready for it.
There are some people that are they're sitting there in on Insta watching. Insta's getting
Cool.
hello Instagram
Yeah.
fans.
What's going
Hello
on, guys?
Instagram fans. All right.
Instagram.
Let me move this up here so I can see you better. Welcome to Splintered Spirits. We'll give the good people a minute to come on
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Ooh, we Splintered Spirits. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. I
Hello
hope you
everybody.
guys
Hello
checked
hello.
out the last episode we put out. It was
Yeah
an
man, we're gonna
awesome.
talk about all that. We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
all of that.
that was an awesome one.
Oh, I see one of our guests who said we got a ghost story for us, and she's watching on Insta today.
Yeah. Cool.
Submission, and yeah, man, it's been good. Things are good. We got. By the way, it's been one full year since we dropped Splintered
Yeah.
Spirits. It's
Right.
now
So it was on the 13th, right?
11th
On the 11th. On the 11th. That's right.
on the 11th, February 11th. So it's been our this is our 1 year anniversary. Just
Yeah.
crazy
It's
that we've been
crazy.
doing this for a year. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
We've got a lot of awesome episodes.
oh, so many. They're really
So
good.
many great guests. I mean, it's been,
It's been good, man. We learned a lot. It's like, and I've been talking to one of our guests that's telling you on the phone today, just talking about interviewing and podcasting and sort of that bag and the goal for us for the year and like just these milestones we're constantly trying to hit. And
yeah,
also what we're trying to showcase and learn about the space, man. I mean, it's cool. I think
there's
we got a
so
lot
much
of it.
of it.
Yeah,
I
there's
tell
so
you,
much.
for such a small niche, there's just so much.
Dude, my feed is bananas. There are so many people that float out there ghost hunting.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I didn't know
it's a
so many
lot.
people do it.
Yeah, and it never used to be that way. It never used to be that way. And listen, a lot of people will tell you, especially people that have been watching from as long as I did it. There were certain people that made this accessible to everybody. I was lucky enough to be in that small group of people to do that. Once people saw me at the cemeteries, saw my boy Howie, who unfortunately passed away in the woods, it really, really opened up this whole new level of live streaming for the paranormal. It showed people, hey, you can go into the woods and communicate with spirits depending on where you're going. You can go into cemeteries that are free and talk to spirits. And it just blew up. And now you just scroll and scroll and scroll, and everybody's out there doing it. Everybody. It's pretty
It's a
wild.
lot. And
It's
it's like,
yeah,
bro, it's all set
yeah,
up. Some people are interesting. I'm finding, and I'm reaching out to just a few people because I'd love to get them on as guests and talk about their experiences. And they all have but it's all like society or this. It's like this. It's all, you know what I mean? It's you know what I'm saying? It's all like
I know.
it's like this team or the,
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, cool. And so it's
yeah,
like, it's not
yeah.
just, there's not, I'm actually finding a lot more teams or pairs
Hmm.
are popping up, and
Yep.
we've got a few interesting players that are going to come on this month, even on our lives. One's a family. I found a family of sisters in Ohio. I think they're literally the ghost sisters. They seem very
That's
fun,
fair.
and I mean they go like they are out, like they're out and like we're investigating this place and we're gonna be here, and they're
Dude,
like
that
hardcore.
that reminds me of something, a memory that just floated into my head. This might have been 2020, 2022, 2023. I remember one time I went to Letchworth, and I'm about to go into one of the buildings before, I got really, really big. And now people call the cops on me when I'm there. Um, I'm about to go in one of the buildings, and walking out was a father, a mother, and a child that had to be like 8, 9 years old, and then
Are
another
these
one
real
that was
people or
like
is this a fucking
real
ghost?
people. No, these
Oh,
are real people,
I see.
like 12, 13 years old. And I went, whoa. I was like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, oh, we were urban exploring, and ghost
Yeah,
hunting.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I went, wow, a whole family. I'm like, it's dangerous in there. And they're like, yeah, we know. That's why we didn't go too far with the kids, but they really wanted to go in. And I was like, wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Did you
You
call
know?
CPS immediately to?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, you got to train the young ones somehow.
It's
You
funny.
know, but I just remembered that. And it's like I think there are groups of people and families and
Yeah,
that do this.
yeah. And we're gonna
It's
get a
pretty wild.
couple. When we're gonna get a couple more other podcasters and radio hosts on, and do a little bit more collabs with these people, and I want to hear their experiences and the stories they shared. I mean, look, for us, the more stories, and you know, that's just data, right?
Yeah,
It's data.
yeah,
So it's really great to that people want, people practicing what they preach when it comes to community, right? And saying, yeah,
yeah.
let's do it, let's hang, let's have fun, and
Listen, I
let's share.
love the human perspective on it.
It's the
I
best.
love getting all these different perspectives and all these people's experiences. That's why I always say you get, certain people that will say something is something. And it's like, okay, well, they might be wrong. This might not be what they claim it is, but it is something, right? So I just, regardless of that, I love just hearing people's experiences, whether they're, experienced in the field and have been doing this for a while, or they're just starting out. Yeah,
It's dope.
yeah.
Um, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Splintered Spirits Live. I'm your host, Gary, along with
John.
our co-host, John Sander from Santa Paranormal. As you know, if you are watching on Santa Paranormal or on Splintered Spirits, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. It's free. It's free to subscribe.
Yep.
If you're on Santa Paranormal, hop over to Splintered Spirits. If you're on Splintered Spirits, hop over to Santa Paranormal. If you're watching us on Facebook, I see there's a couple of you. Thank you. Smash that follow button. If you're
Yep.
on
That's
Instagram,
it.
smash that follow button. We appreciate it. Leave a big thumbs up. And we got a lot going on. And it's
Yeah.
fun to talk about in this month of February, our anniversary year month. We just dropped that group Estes method that we shot just before Christmas, which was let's get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we talked about doing it. We did it. We
Yep.
learned from it. I hope people checked it out. I hope there's some people. Give me show of hands. Let's see. Everybody watch it yet or what? What are you waiting for? The weekend, the commute home? It's been out since Tuesday. You've had
Yeah.
48 hours. Should be the
Hey,
first thing you
listen,
do.
and,
Should be
and
the
there's an
first thing
hour,
you
and
do.
there's an hour in between me going live and this.
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
Check it out. And the great thing about the podcast is you can pause it
That's right. And you can go back to it.
and you can go back to it. So Gary,
What
when
did you think of it when you
when
watched it months later?
I just thought how the process, like we created something from something, you know, like we really did, and it just blew my mind. It's like, wait a minute, we just created a new way to do the Estes method.
Yeah.
People talk about reinventing the wheel, and it's like, well, wait a minute, shit, this is awesome. The implications of it are wild.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like you're doing an Estes method, and the way we had it set up, where what everybody was sitting down. First off, it's a multi-person, so multiple people, which is insane in
Mm-hmm.
itself. But then to have the ability to go back and listen to what they're listening to, if we
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
is game changing as well.
I couldn't play it. If we do it again, I'll have to figure out because I have it, but it becomes very it's an onslaught to the senses to play the.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't play it all at the same time.
If
That's
I play the
something where you have to.
audio and then it's like sometimes because it's right at, so it's like you'll hear this, you'll hear the noise
Yeah.
and then you hear them speak and then they're yelling and then they're yelling not when they're not synchronous. I mean, there would have been few
So
times
I'll,
where it's
I'll tell you
perfect.
where.
So it's
Yeah, I'll tell you
but
where it would
otherwise
be.
it was just too chaotic of a production. It just was like you can't follow this. You can't.
No,
follow
you
it.
can't. But it would be cool to, like, for example, there were times when everybody said the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Everybody shot out the same thing.
And
And then you take that, and then after you show that, then you go back, okay, this is what they were listening to.
yeah, we
And
can
you
do it.
isolate that and you play it
We'll do
alone.
that. We'll do that for the
And
next time for
it's a
sure.
game changer for the Estes method.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure next time. There's a lot we learned. I mean, because it's one.
Well,
Right?
let me ask you something, Gary. Let me
Yeah.
ask you something. What did you think of everybody's individual reactions?
Oh well, this is
Not
that's what I was gonna say. So
yeah.
the all right. So why do we do the Estes method to begin with, right? So first and foremost, you do the Estes method to sort of rule out outside influence in an answer, right? The answer they can't hear the question, so they're getting a natural response to what they're saying. Despite that natural response, I found it fascinating that people still hear what they want to hear when they want to hear it, right?
Yes.
So I think in particular, if you watch it, one of the mods goes by Hale, heard Hale quite a bit. Here's her own name,
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where you have a mod goes by Mama Lisa. Now, yes, we heard Lisa, and there are moments where everyone hears Lisa, but there's moments where she hears Mama Lisa,
Yeah.
right? Because that's her. So it sort of it keeps it honest by having multiple people listening, in its way. If you really listen, he's hard to hear because Brian the mod keeps his head down the whole time. And it's very hard to when he yells it out, he's kind of muffled because he's down like this. But some of the stuff he yells is more almost on the darker side. If you really pay attention, it's like get out, go. Like he's hearing those words, right? A lot of people, there was a couple people it felt like I don't think they really could tell what they were hearing and were yelling after they heard other people yell. So when you hear so they can, look, we had them sitting next to each other. So when they yelled out, they could still hear the person next to them, which is something, with a bigger budget, we can put up cubicles,
isolation pods,
isolation box. So they can't, so at least muffle that a little bit more. You get a mic on each one so we can really isolate so they don't have to yell, which would be wild. But anyway, so from the individual perspective, despite not being influenced by the outside, by what they're hearing the question, they are still influenced by what they think it is. And by having multiple people get it, you are keeping it honest. And sort of there's a clear or the audio is just clearer, but they all hear it clearly. And when it all lines up, question, spirit, response. The question, spirit, response is crazy when that happens. And we had a few
more than once.
We had it more than once. And that is...
Do you remember the words I said to you before we started it? I said, Uncle Gary, if we get one response to a question and everybody answers it, I'd be shocked. Instead of one response, there were multiple. I actually couldn't believe what was happening, to be honest.
There was a few. And it was crazy. And it was, so that whole session, let's see, that probably took I think we did it for about an hour. And I think I cut it down to about, I don't know, 35 minutes. I think I probably
I'm about to say 35, 40 minutes.
Maybe we did it for 45 minutes. I cut about 10 or 15 minutes out of it. And I mainly cut 10 or 15 minutes out of it because, as you know, sometimes you ask a question, there's nothing. Yeah. It's just silence. So it's just, that's not good. Guys, it's just not good TV or good. It's just not good podcasting. You're sitting in your car. You don't want to just sit there and listen. Like you're going to think
Gary, that's the difference between live streaming and an actual episode. You
might think your radio's broken when no one says anything. So I trimmed it up for that and for various like camera stuff and tech stuff just to move things around and keep the motion going. But it's when you do hear it, there's nothing moved in terms of what we did. I don't give a shit whether it worked or not. It just happened.
So what did you think of people's physical reactions? Because that was equally as interesting.
You tell me. I've never done it before at all, let alone a group one. But the fact that we had one guy he totally fell asleep.
He still claimed Mike. It's Mike. It's one of my mods, Mike. They're hilarious. He was falling asleep. I don't blame him.
Which means he got into like such a state of thing. And then, some people get nervous. You can see they're getting nervous. Or one person got up and walked away. Still don't understand what freaked her out. She said like she felt something.
I think she said she felt something touch her.
Yeah.
And she was like, nope, I'm done. We said that in the beginning. If
You know
You
what's
feel uncomfortable at
yeah.
all, walk
What's
off.
really interesting are the people who felt something. And look, there was a moment where I went around them with the camera, and I was up close to them with a camera, but I never touched them. And I was moving slow with the camera, not fast to make a breeze
Yeah.
because I don't want the camera to look like shit. So I'm moving slowly. But the fact that they felt it, you know what I mean? That's also very strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can feel you're there. You got a thing. You got a racket going on in your head. You got your blinders on. You're trying to listen to words, and yet you can feel that like
Somebody's there.
someone's there with a camera, and then go because they're like, I felt somebody here. Now I can't. We don't know. Did they feel that when it was me next to him, or did they feel it when I wasn't? But I would like to think odds are I was the guy that moved up next to him. They probably felt me. I don't know
Yeah.
how. Like that's just weird to me. It's just weird to me.
Yeah.
Because even noise wise, you can say I heard creaking foot, but there was the waiters moving around. There was
Yeah,
the
there was
headphones are on,
headphone. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and so
yeah.
it's like there's still like general. There was still general noise. It wouldn't have affected it like, and I didn't touch anybody, to do that. So that's freaking her out. But the fact that she got so freaked out to move like that one mod, that's weird. Um, yeah, people doing it in the group setting um, was an interesting dynamic to keep it
Yeah,
honest. So
yeah.
no matter what, you see
Which
this thing, which is cool.
for years I spoke against that method because anytime I've ever seen anybody do it, I could tell that they were full of it. Because
Well,
it'd be
I
like,
don't know
okay,
how.
they're
Yeah,
using necrophonic, right? That's the main one most people use.
right.
They're using necrophonic while they're doing it, and I'm like, I listened to necrophonic for 2 years straight. I know the sound bites that come out of that, and I know the sound bites that are manipulated by spirits. There's no way, like some of the full sentences that people are saying are accurate hearing from necrophonic. Like
Right.
that's just not the way the app is designed. And I'm like, I can't, I don't trust this. And it wasn't until
Yeah.
being with Chris Netzel and Brian, two people I trust 100%. I'm like, all right, let's do this. I got
Yeah,
two
man.
people with me that I know for a fact won't try to change or manipulate the scenario. They'll just keep it 100. So
Yeah.
it'll still be a personal experience, but it'll be what they're hearing, not what they're faking, right?
It always looked weird to me to do for on TV or whatever people were doing it for, just because. Yeah, man. Like I don't know. How, why if I'm here to hear the ghost, why am I listening to that person? And then it's like, okay, so you want to eliminate the outside influence, but if it was just me and you, I feel I would absolutely have to be playing the spirit box so people don't know I'm bullshitting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like if it's just two people, if I'm trying to prove something, I've got to play the spirit box in it. I've got to put this person in another room, and I've got to put the spirit box out here so they can't hear. Like I have to somehow prove there's no bullshit. With the group, I felt, and that's another reason I didn't play the spirit box audio, because I felt I didn't need to play it to prove it's not bullshit, because I've got multiple people yelling out an answer, and it's still you're getting different answers,
Hmm.
and it's not always the same, and so it's like that was enough cacophony of noise that I don't need to add this other layer of noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was so wild.
I made a director's choice. I made
Yeah, yeah.
an
No, listen, I
artist's
don't blame you.
directorial choice to do it, but
Listen,
it felt that way.
and it was so wild too. Like when my wife got up.
That was very oddly and
Yeah,
creepily timed,
yeah.
right?
And,
I mean,
and what's great is nobody can see her. It's not like she
right.
was stomping. She just got up quietly and
No one could see her. She was behind them, even if they didn't have headphones on, even if they didn't have
yep,
blinders
yep,
on.
yeah. And then
You
that
know,
happens, and it was so interesting.
and we tried it with 3 different apps,
Yep, yep.
and
Would you remember what apps did we use? Do you remember?
I don't know. That's on you.
That was on me.
You would have to
Definitely
figure that out.
Necrophonic, definitely Vox. I can't remember what the other one
Spirit
was.
Talker? I don't know.
No, it
I
wouldn't
could
have
be
been.
making that up.
It wouldn't have. Yeah, it wouldn't have been Spirit Talk. It
Did you
wouldn't have
use
been any.
Did you use Ghost Tube, like one of your go-tos?
what's it called? For that method, I wouldn't have used one that just says direct words like Spirit Talker or Necrometer on text setting or Ghost Tube Original. It was most
Right.
likely Spiritus, Necrophonic, and Vox.
We showed the screen on one, but I don't, I don't know which app is what.
Yeah. It was most likely those three because those are more, those are the sound bank based.
Now, the question is, when you have that many people in there, is it, and they're hearing their own names? I don't know. I wonder what that means in terms of.
Oh, I'll tell. Listen, I have data on that. I have data on that. I cannot tell you. Like, I'll give a prime example of this.
Yeah.
A prime example of this. Going back to my boy Chris Netzel, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he's done with his live stream, he'll send his people in, and you would be surprised how many times his people will hear Chris's name, like Chris's full name, Chris Netzel, where everybody on our side knows that's not what the Spirit said. They didn't say that at
Oh,
all.
that's so
It's
funny.
it's because they wanted to hear it. Or I'll give another prime example, even broader. Here at the Breck Estate, I can't tell you how many times the spirits will say it or and or end, and people hear Ed
Mm.
because they're so used to Edward.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Isn't it
Is,
fun?
is
It's
that like
fun.
I think that might be a conditioning that happens.
I don't know how that
Like it's
shit
like,
works. Do you ever see those memes where they're like they play this audio and it's like if you read this line as they play it,
yeah,
you hear
yeah,
how the fuck? How does that work? It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And it's like they'll play this line of a song with a different and it sounds perfectly to what you're
Sounds
reading.
perfect.
Dude, the
Yeah.
brain.
Well, that's audio pareidolia.
I know, but it's wild, dude. It's still
Yeah,
crazy now. It's
yeah.
like you read it and it's like that is clearly what if I read it and hear it, it's clearly what they're saying. And then I read the line again, they play the same music, and that's clearly what they're saying.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's
It's wild. Well, that's what it's funny when I use Vox or I use Necrophonic or Necro meter on its dynamic setting, or any of the sound bank based apps. That's what people in the past have said. Oh well, this is just audio pareidolia. You could take that phrase and you could turn that into anything. Which is why I like to use multiple different apps that don't do that as well. So it's a mix. So it's
yeah.
like, okay, fine. I see your argument. But if the spirit says, hey, John, that's a brick wall, and they say it through one of the sound bank based apps, and that, hey, John, that's a brick wall could be, you know, you can hear it as something else. What happens when a text app like Spirit Talker or Ghost Tube Original turns around and says, John, that's a brick wall right afterwards?
Right. Right. Well, it'll be really funny to do, and we'll do it again, and we'll figure out how to do it again with a little more, even more production. And I use the word production, but just more setup and how it's done. When you've got, because we can easily, we were doing one app at a time, There's nothing stopping us except a mix board from doing multiple
Multiple.
apps at a time
Yeah.
and a spirit box like an SB7.
You know what would be really cool? We
You
could
can have it
actually do,
all. You can have that shit all going at
dude.
once
We could
and
do
just
it. We could do it here. We could do, like, for example, like next time I have the mod party, we could do it with the mods. We could do it here. We could stick a couple of them in here, a couple of them in the living room, a couple, like one or two in the kitchen, and then one or two down in the fireplace room,
will it reach?
and
I wonder if
have
the
it.
sound will reach. I wonder if the sound will
I,
reach
I
there.
have. We can. I have what's it called? I can drop a wire down and run it to the fireplace room, multiple wires if needed. That's how I have internet down there. I dropped a Cat 6 down one of the old dumbwaiters and ran it into the fireplace room.
Gotcha.
So we
But it's
have
but
the capabilities, and
right.
we can isolate people, groups, have multiple groups and isolate them. Or sure, we can stick them in a closet.
I wouldn't even. It'd be look. We did it with 10 people. I think even if you picked, you can even do less people, but still have more than one isolated. That could be the next test, a more multi-ISO SAP test. Set
Yeah,
mix.
yeah.
Um,
Well, everybody. That's what we're calling this method. We're calling it the SEP.
right? Synchronized Estes protocol.
Yep.
Synchronized feed. Because we're scientists. It's for science.
It's for science.
It's for science. We're scientists. We gave it science name, like a SEP test.
Science.
It sounds like right. It sounds like like if you're getting like an STD test, but it's for science.
Yeah, spiritual STDs.
It's a spiritual STD. How you feeling, by the way? You feeling better?
Nope.
You still sick?
Still sick.
Dude, I've been sick.
That's why I just keep sipping on this just to keep everything lubricated so I don't start coughing like a maniac.
Dude, I was so sick Monday night. I was so sick. It felt like I was getting stabbed. And it was like, it could only be the stomach flu I had on Monday night was it lasted about 5 hours. It can only be described as biblical. And I'm the worst.
Locusts coming out of your mouth.
Dude, I'm
thunder.
The worst. I'm the worst.
Frogs coming down,
I'm the worst vomiter on earth, dude. The loudest. I'm surprised like the neighbors didn't call the police, wondering what was being killed. I asked my wife to murder me. I was like, just kill me, please. Kill me. Would you please kill me? And here's the problem. I'm still alive, which tells me I don't know if her resolve is strong enough in case of like, what if I was becoming a zombie and I'm like, I need you to kill me.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I love you. And it's like, that's not going to save society.
Yeah.
When I ask to be murdered, I expect
death.
I feel like I expect commitment. I expect commitment to it. But I was so sick. And then it was just after the last show that I like passed out for like an hour, I woke up like at 9:00. So from like 4 to 9. It was or 3:30 to 9. It was bad news. I was 8. It was terrible. I woke up at 9 and it was just gone. It was just all right. Back at it,
Back at it. Oh.
Just back into it. But man, yeah, man, it's going around.
Yeah.
Half my kids' class is out in, we're in LA. It's just like, it's bad.
That's the problem. Listen, it doesn't matter what age they are. If they're going to a school, you're going into a germ factory.
Dude, when my kids were in preschool, we got the stomach flu once a year. Yeah. Preschool is like a third world nation.
Yes. 100%.
It's like they were coming
100%.
home. I would get the stomach flu and it was, forget it. And it would just travel through the house.
Yep.
And it was terrible. It was a terrible 4 years. Like 3 years, however long kids are in school. For those, they are the worst. They're filthy.
Yep.
Filthy.
Yep. And what's insane is most people that I'm surrounded with right now in my life and have been for the past, almost 15 years, have literally more than 15 years, they either work in daycare or they're married to somebody that works in daycare or they're daycare workers themselves. And I've always just been surrounded by it. But I only get sick. I get sick twice a year. Once in December by my birthday, and once in February. It's insane, dude. Insane. And then I got randomly sick in the summer once, which was probably the worst ever. Summer
colds just make it feel like shit.
Oh, dude, it was just so bad. I was live that night too. I was in the field and I was literally dying. And everybody's like, John, go in and get some rest. And I'm like, what? So I can lay in bed and be up and die? I'd rather stay. You know what I mean? Like, no, let me exist in my misery.
We digress. We digress in our illnesses for a second. But what would you do next? What would you do different with, or what would you like to try with the SEP test next time?
Well, I think you nailed it on the head when we were talking about isolation. Mm-hmm. I think it would be great to isolate everybody.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, putting them in, like, zipping them up in a sleeping bag. You know what I mean? Like
people will let us do that, dude.
Like bean pods, That'd be sick, dude.
Body snatchers.
Dude, imagine putting them in body bags. The visual for that, have them all laying on the ground in body bags, dude.
I worry. What makes you worry about that? Imagine if then, like, all of a sudden the cops show up, and then we have to explain ourselves. What are you guys doing?
Well, I'll tell you what. Most cops, when it comes to the paranormal, want nothing to do with it. They want nothing to do with it. You
Is that
know,
the good out? It's like, oh no, don't worry about it, officer. All these house moms tied up and blindfolded in headphones that are your mods, and they're all just no.
did
It's
I
for
ever
it's for science. It's
did I ever
safe.
tell you, dude? Did I ever tell you that the run-in with the cops I had in the cemetery once? I'll never forget this. Did I ever tell
Tell
you
it.
this story?
No. I don't remember.
Okay, everyone, bear with me. I'm at a cemetery that I used to go to all the time. That I'm not allowed there at night because the neighbors call the cops. Okay. And it just so happened that I was there when it was still light. I finished up alive. I got all done and it just got dark. So, of course, one of the neighbors calls the cops immediately. The neighbor was
Sure.
being an a hole, said that I was there grave robbing.
Probably. Sure.
Okay. They damn well knew what I was doing. Right. They knew they see me there. They see me there every day. They knew what I was doing. But anyway, the cops show up, right? Weapons drawn, walking into this cemetery, shaking, Gary, shaking. Okay. And I have my hands up. I have a flashlight in one hand, right? My hands are up. And I'm like, gentlemen, you can lower your weapons. They won't do anything to the spirits. Now, one of the cops, I'm gonna paint a picture of what this man looked like. He was one of the most gorgeous men you could ever see in your life.
Sure.
He was like a 6'4" black man.
Like calendar cop.
Bill, Bill,
Right.
this is
Right.
a man's man.
Right.
This dude goes, oh, fuck this, and fucking bucks.
Right.
Leaves his partners and fucking bucks.
Right.
He is out. So I start talking to the cops about what I'm doing there. They're like, dude, we've been a cop here, since we were rookies. We never knew this place was that big. We thought it was just a couple of headstones on the side of the road. I said, no, this is huge back here. He's like, wow, this is nuts. So I'm talking to him while we're walking out and whatnot. And the dude's sitting in his car and he gets out and I start dying laughing. I'm like, dude, thank you for that. That was the funniest thing I've experienced, all month.
Right.
He was like, I don't fuck with this. He starts going on. He goes, I'll do whatever. When it comes to this, nothing to do with it. Dude, it was so funny.
That is funny. That is
So
funny.
funny, bro. Like the
Yeah, if it gets you
visual, like
out, whatever
it
gets you out of
was,
a ticket, dude. Whatever can get you out of a ticket.
yeah. Well, so
Or worse.
interesting enough about that cemetery, I could have stayed there. They even said, they were like, listen, there's no posted times, this, that, and the other. Like, this is, they're going to keep calling the cops and annoying us. So
Yeah.
we're asking you if you could leave so you can spare us to have to keep coming back here. He was like, but
Right.
technically you could stay here. And I was like, well, I'm done with my stream anyway. I'm just waiting for my ride.
Mhm.
So,
That's funny, man.
yeah.
Um,
Speaking of all that,
yeah.
don't we have some evidence?
No, we do. Yeah, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. All right. So, guys, we got some ghost evidence. And remember, if you have a ghost story, please submit it. You can go to our website at splinteredspirits.com. You
Yep.
can share your ghost stories.
Yep.
It's like right
Yes,
there.
you can.
splinteredspirits.com. We have a whole tab that says ghost story. You can upload it. If you want to upload evidence, I do ask that you drop some ID to prove that you are over 18 and that you own it. But if you don't and you just want to share a story, just type in your story. We'll talk about it. But in this case, John, we don't not only have a story.
We have evidence to go with it.
We've got
We
some
have.
evidence. That's
Oh,
pretty interesting. So let's let me
sweet.
tell you the story. So Diana shared this story, and I'll read it to you guys now. Here, give me a sec. Let me pull this up for you. See if my eyes will. How do I make this bigger? Because I'm getting a little blind. All right. She says, I live in a haunted house. I have videos of ghosts in my house, mostly in our bedrooms. I had put cameras up through the house, trying to catch on tape epilepsy episodes my child was having for the doctor. I want to come back to that too later because all right, I caught so much more. I have hundreds of videos since June 2025, so I'm seeing all kinds of very strange and weird stuff. So I want to know who it is. I first asked for signs, which came right away. So next, I bought a ghost box, and my child's dead father came across. We were together for 7 years before he died of cancer on Christmas Day 2017. He was 41 years old. I asked why he was still there. He said to protect his baby. Some
Wow.
other, yeah, right, I got chills. I get chills thinking of that. That's just,
Yeah.
some others also came across the ghost box as well. We had just moved into this apartment, and just moved to this apartment, and it was previously rented to one of my good friends, and she suddenly found out she had ovarian cancer. Now, there's a lot of cancer going on in this story and this apartment. I wonder if it's under a power line, but I don't know. She had passed
Oh,
away within 6 months, and the landlord remodeled her old place, and they had us move into it. I can feel energy, and it doesn't feel bad here, but I will say when I used the ghost box, it spiked paranormal activity greatly. I have videos of something jumping off me at one point. I ended up saying some prayers, calling on Archangel Michael, and burning some sage. This is you got a Jesus crystal salt and sage. She was trying
sick.
everything. I guess after these experiences, you're going to try it all, right? And then right after that, I had videos of ghosts flying out of the rooms. After that, it just seems like there's only one here, maybe two left. So I guess she has an influx of spirits in her house. Here's what she shared with me. Let me show you. And I said this to you earlier in case I know because you sometimes watch on a smaller screen. But for
Yep.
the
Yep.
good people, let me get this going. I'll play it over and over, but I think that was it. It's quick.
Also looks like there's a face in the mirror too.
Yeah, right. So let me get it. Let me get it back. I'm gonna play it again. So she's just filming this room, and then zip, zoop,
Yep.
and that to me, even listen, I'm not a big. Let's freeze it on. Let me try to freeze it on this spot here. It's not gonna
Oh
freeze.
yeah, if you could freeze it right when it's coming up, so we can get a good look at what we're looking at with the camera caught.
Yeah, it might be hard to do with
Yeah,
this.
but yeah.
This system is not designed for like it's like the Zabruder film trying to find who shot
Yeah.
Kennedy. It's not letting me get the deep access to Zabruder film as a reference. I wonder how many get it. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull this off. But it's oh shit.
Oh, you almost had it.
I know it's tough.
Yeah.
But it's like right there, but it won't let me
You
freeze.
gotta be quicker than that.
I know, it won't let me go frame by frame is the problem.
Yeah.
But look, unlike that, it was right there. You guys saw it, right?
Yeah.
Like most see, I could do it like that, so we get it fast. And then then the camera moves.
Everyone's trying to screenshot right now.
Yeah, that's all right. I have a still of it too, but the still is just looks. The still of this looks like a smudge. It's not going to really give you anything. It's not.
Yeah.
She sent the still, but it doesn't really help. When I play it like that, it's this is kind of great. It's let me just do that flash frame of it, and then the camera moves right.
Yeah.
So
what's really interesting is that if you look, the second it goes up, right before the camera moves, there's a line, almost like it has a tail. It's weird.
that's like that could be like a light streak, but yeah, that looks like a.
And then
face.
there's something
Doesn't that
else
look like
too.
a face though, right there, bro?
That does look like a face, and then right before that too, there's something else. Like you see something real quick go by.
Like that looks like a face.
Which, and I can't tell you how many times this stuff happens on like my live stream, and I don't post it because people have a hard time seeing what's right there when I do catch something. You know what I mean? So like I can't tell you how much stuff like this happens.
This looks
It's pretty
like
wild.
a face. Those two black eyes, when you look at it, looks like a black,
right there. Yep,
right.
yep.
That looks like a real
does.
creepy face. And then that smudge doesn't like normally orbs. I think it would be dust or bugs.
And I'll tell you what's really wild, Gary. And tell me if I'm wrong. The face, you see the face side of the center mirror,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Look at the mirror next to it, because that's a tri-mirror.
Yeah.
You see the same face.
Yeah, you do.
Almost like there's something standing there.
Yeah, like right on the side. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. This is a fun one because if it's a bug, it seems to like what? Let's say it's a bug. Let's assume it's the light streak is a bug.
I think the spirit's pissed off they didn't make your bed.
Let's assume the light streak is a bug. It seems
I'm not judging. I don't make my bed either.
It seems to just come out of nowhere.
Sometimes.
Is that where it was? Right? I mean, is it right? Like what?
Yeah, it definitely just comes out of nowhere.
Right? Like it doesn't seem. I feel
Yeah.
like we would have seen it. It would be all over it, or we would see it fade in and fade out, like as it
Well,
reflects in the light.
and there's nothing disturbing dust,
I don't see any other.
right?
Start from the beginning.
There's nothing disturbing any dust.
And then it just locks. It locks in over here on this
Yep.
face and on this side reflection over here.
Uh,
Hey man, that's First of all, Diana, thank you for sharing that. It's a fun
yeah,
one to
thank you.
talk
That's
about.
pretty cool.
With the history that and then, look, this speaks to human experience, right? With the history of this, what this woman has gone through with her family and her friends in her house, you sort of have to look at it. You know, okay, there's an energy of something coming off of it. The
Yeah.
grief that she's experiencing, right? The kid, like it's a real what's
Well,
manifesting there, and then
and
make that's cool.
also again, human perception, right? Human perception. Who knows what that is? Is there something there? 100%. We could see it. There's evidence all over, not just the thing moving, the fact that the camera moved as well, and the fact that there's something in that mirror.
Right.
We can see it. Like even if you scratch out and say, okay, that's just smudges on the glass, get some Windex, that'll take care of that ghost real quick.
Easy. Yeah,
You know, you still have this, thing showing up, the camera moving. I mean, it's cool. It's very cool.
What's it going?
Very awesome.
It's very fun.
Regardless of who it might be.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's very cool.
Oh, again, thank you, Diana,
Yeah,
for
thank
sharing.
you.
And guys, go to splinteredspirits.com and submit a ghost story. We love talking about ghost stories. It's sort of, and it's like, and while you're at it, I like to tell us what you think spirits are. Tell us what you think, where you think it is, who it is, and what it is. Let's add that to the old repertoire.
Yeah, why not? We'd love to hear your
I want to hear your opinion on
theories.
what do you think it is.
That.
What do I know?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you don't know any better than I do. I want to know what you think it is.
Hey, you know what?
Works.
Those that watch me on the regular, with all the evidence that I've compiled, I'd love to hear your opinion on what you think spirits are. With everything that you've seen me capture and all the interactions that I have, what do you think about it?
Yeah, man.
We'd love to hear it. Go hit that personal ghost story. Go hit that tab on the Splintered Spirit site. Submit it. We'll talk about it one episode.
It's great. And if you're just joining us late, welcome to Splintered Spirits Live. Hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend. We've got some good.
Yeah, what we got coming up?
Well, look, we're wrapping up. We're doing some good stuff in February. So, okay.
Every Tuesday instead of every other Tuesday.
All right, here's what we got, dude. You guys want to know? Who wants to know? You guys want to know what's happening?
So I think a lot of people are waiting for that Patty and Chip.
Oh, those are good ones. Yeah.
They're waiting for that Patty and Chip.
We've got good episodes. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop in February, but we just have every Tuesday in February. But okay, let me tell you what's happening, guys. So we've got Chip Coffee on Tuesday. And if you can't wait until Tuesday, that's the only time we offer a paid subscription. You can get this shit in advance on YouTube only. But we got Chip Coffee on Tuesday. Then we're doing a collab with the Ghost Gossip podcast, Ashley B. She's going to come on, talk a little on our live next week, which will be very fun. And then John, you'll at some point figure out you'll do an interview. We're scheduling that. You'll do an interview with her, which will be very fun. And she's super cool. She's got a good attitude. I like how she approaches it all. And she lives in a haunted house, and she sort of approaches it that way. And it's fun. She's cool. Then I've got I have an interview with Patty Negri, the Good Witch of Hollywood. Everybody knows Patty, man. She's been around. She does all these things, all these shows. She's a guest.
Very active.
Very active. I even said to her after the fact, because I went to her house. I did that interview at her house. And I said to her, as I'm looking at her schedule, because now she's in my feed and popping up, and she's showing up everywhere. I'm like, I got to tell you, I feel extra lucky that I managed to catch you here in LA to be able to do this at your house, because I don't know if you're ever home. I mean, this woman is on the road working constantly. But that's a great interview. She gives me we have a really good talk about the business, about divination, how she gives a couple good spells. She even shares some spells
Nice.
that she's some of her original spells for people. One of them's about making money. So if you want to learn how to make some money, get your witch on. It's a
Through
good one.
magic
Then that
and
week with Patty,
intense.
we've got that's the Ghost Sisters I was telling you about. They got a big following on Facebook and
The Book
elsewhere.
of Faces.
Yes, so they're going to be our guests for the live. Then we move into March. I'm going to roll down the roster here, dude. It's
Yeah,
unstoppable.
might as well.
March is fun. March we've got James Underdown. James Underdown is a big skeptic with the CIF who, remember him? He just doesn't believe in any of this shit. And not only does he not believe in it, but he's offering a $500,000 prize to anyone who can prove paranormal abilities or supernatural abilities.
Yeah.
And this
Well, it's
guy
one of
just
my. It's, by the way, it's one of my favorite episodes we've done
yeah,
so far.
it's
It
fun.
really, you can see me and the dude are just vibing. I'm agreeing with everything he's saying, like because that's how I operate my documentation.
Yeah,
So it's really cool, and he
you
doesn't
know,
believe in any of this
he
stuff.
doesn't believe in any of it. It's just like it doesn't exist. It's just
It's really
it's
cool.
like
It's
come
really
on in.
good episode.
And you'd be shocked at this kind of people who go in and try to prove their abilities and what abilities they try to prove.
Yeah.
Then I get a coffee reading from our friend Kathy. I got to see if she's free in March. Maybe jump on a live. We haven't seen her in a while, but I'm going to air that. I shot that before Christmas, right when we did Estes. So that's really fun. She reads like we have 2 cups of coffee, like an espresso and this Turkish coffee, and then she like reads my future, which looked good. The future it looked good. Thank goodness. So I got that to look forward to. Then we've got Benjamin Radford, who I did an interview with. He's another skeptic, but more of an investigative one. He actually goes out on haunts. I find
that's what's his name's partner, right?
they're not partners, but they sort of work in the same business.
So they work in the
they
same
do work for
business.
the same CIF
Yes.
facility or CFF,
Yes.
CIF.
Yeah.
The Center of CFI, Center for Inquiry, I think it's called. But they're both, he's a writer, he's an author, he's written books, very interesting investigator. And I'm looking forward to dropping that one because, and you'll see when you watch it too, John, my interview with him, because I did ask him, I go, what can I show you that will ever prove to you that this is real? Right? And I never really got a clean answer because the truth of it is, and I believe this, and, he can always come back on if I'm wrong about it, but, he's a great guy and it was a wonderful conversation, but I don't think he'll ever believe it until he sees it. I think he's got to be in the room and everyone's got to start levitating in the room and shit's got to fly off the walls. And that's when he'll believe it. But unlike any other science, like if a doctor in India reads a medical study done at, Cedar Sinai in Los Angeles that was like a triple blind and, clearly I'm boring.
A phone that shouldn't be ringing was ringing. If that makes any sense. No, it has no service. It's a phone that has no service.
Did you answer it? It could have been someone who's dead.
No,
that happens to us.
It just had like a zero dash whatever on the what's it called? I don't even know.
Maybe that's hell, bro. You're supposed to answer.
Yeah, right.
Next time, answer it.
I'm like, I turned my phone off so it doesn't ring. So speaking of that, the episode with Gary, he's telling us a heartfelt story about his daughter and of course of all the times my phone is blowing up. So I'm like, this is the worst fucking time. So I turned my phone off.
Right. Well, and John's talking about Gary Galka. We have an interview with Gary Galka coming up. That won't be till the end of April, where Gary Galka, if you've got any ghost hunters listening, he invented the SB7. He invented the REM pod.
The REM pod.
He has an unbelievable story, a very heartfelt story of how he's an engineer and how he had a tragic loss in his life, and then he went to start engineering and developing ITCs for communication with the dead, which is a fascinating interview. A great guy. There's a lot of good stuff, dude. We also have a very intimate episode about sex and the spirits, intimacy in the spirits for those who might be a little prudish, with a very well-known adult film star and her paranormal experiences.
And I love
Uh,
that, by the way. I love
and
how we have, someone as incredible as Gary, followed by.
yeah, and then it's like she's gonna be great.
Yeah,
And you'll see. Stay
awesome.
tuned for that.
Awesome.
It's a fun one. She's a lot of fun, and
Yeah, she
it
really
takes it
is.
it takes it. But John, you've talked about it a ton. Sexual energy in the paranormal and these spirits that are there is something to which if your energy's hyped, that could lead to something. I mean, look, man,
Yeah.
it's for
Well,
science,
and
guys. It's for
it's not
science.
just others. It's not just like the person. It could be an outside force,
Yeah.
right? Like, listen, when I go to a cemetery and I get a spirit that starts hitting on me like crazy, I know that somebody went in that cemetery and got it on right before I got there, or they're getting it on while I'm there.
Right? I mean, what is it? What's causing
It
it? But
feeds
it's a
it,
great it's
Yeah,
getting another perspective and an interesting one of someone who feels they are connected and how they and what does it mean? And she shares some evidence too, which is really fun that I put in.
yeah.
You see, like the story she told with the lights. She sent me that
With
video,
the lamp
the lamp. So I put
when
that
she
in.
was in
So
Scotland, right? She said
yeah,
she
yeah,
was in
yeah,
Scotland. Yeah, yeah,
crazy, right? And
yeah.
then another one is lining up is Kelly Curtis. Kelly Curtis is a PhD student in Manchester who is studying uh, people who work around death in the paranormal. So people more from morticians to EMT drivers to to
Yep.
hospice workers. Um, she's sort of a future Dr. Death, if you will. That's what and that's her calling herself that. That's what she wants to
Doctor
be
Death.
when she gets that official PhD. She will be Dr.
Hey,
Death. But she's done a big study. And this is what I was talking about earlier with a skeptic, right? Like, a doctor in India will look at a medical study done in Cedars in LA and they'll just read it and they'll be like, okay, this was tested on 10,000 people. It was done a triple blind test. Here's the results. Here's the data. And they'll look at it and go, this is the way, right? Like,
yeah,
like the Mandalorian. They'll be like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the way.
this is the way. This is what it
Yeah,
is. I read it and I trust it. And I want to meet a skeptic who will say that this is what I need to believe,
yeah.
right? Or then I sort of have a hard time with you're pushing it away. You're now not actively trying to find something. You're not just actively trying to find something. You are also actively pushing it away, right? By
Which
saying,
I've done. Which
right,
I've done. Dude, I've done it on my stream. I've done it on my stream. One of the greatest captures ever. We were at the pathway to the hidden cemetery.
right. We've talked about this, right, many
We
times.
talked about this before. I've done it. I've completely been like, no, that's not a spirit. I know that's not a spirit. Meanwhile, it's disappearing and reappearing,
But
and
then,
I'm
but
in
then it's like, but
ultimate
then you look
denial.
at it, right? But then
Yeah,
you look at the
yeah.
video evidence, and then you look at this, then you listen to the other people who saw it, and you have to, and then even so, you factor in all of the evidence and say, you know what? I'm going to lean into the fact that was a spirit. Okay.
Yeah.
So what will it take someone who's a hardcore skeptic to say that? If I and I and I and I asked the question of them, like, okay, if I showed you, if you analyze this house for a week at different times of the day, morning, evening, morning, afternoon, evening, with your EMF meter, you have a plumber come in, you have an electrician come in, you check the HVAC, you sort of listen for the sounds, you try to figure out what's going on in the house. Then you spend your nights doing your investigation. Now you go in. Now you start to try to irritate the spirits, try to get them to react. You film it. Then maybe you bring in a medium. Then maybe you bring in a placebo or nobody. Then maybe you try to bring in some witnesses. And then you have data. And then you can look at anomalies in the EMF and say, here's what we got over a week in this spot at this time. But once we brought the medium in, we did the same thing and it spiked, right? Or we recorded an EVP here during the day, we got nothing. But when we brought in the relative of the person who used to live here that died, the EVP thing at this time came back like do you see what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
if I said here's this evidence against other evidence that shows there might be something here, and we know it's not plumbing. We had that check. We did that right. Now look, I recognize this costs time and money to do this, but if I presented that to a skeptic, do I think I want to find the skeptic who would say like, That's what I need to know that this paranormal is real. And I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm going to find somebody to admit that. I don't
I
know.
don't think you ever will.
You know, because because even if I do it, and let's say I have video evidence, that just come up with a reason until they are in the room as it happens, and your head spins 360 degrees
I'm gonna
around.
dive into my Catholic school bag. You know, listen, it's the story of doubting Thomas, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's the story of doubting Thomas. You ain't gonna see it until you believe it. And I was the
yeah.
same way. I've done it on live, so I
I
get it. I don't think you're ever gonna find one that's gonna
yeah.
look at somebody else's evidence and go,
And
okay,
it can't just be bullshit. They want to literally say they like, and he says it and Ben says it. You know, he's like, I want to see the grandfather clock. I want to see it fly off the wall and across the room. You know, I want to see the chairs stacked by themselves. I want to see, you know, your head spin around and vomit in 360 degrees. You know what I mean? I want to see grandma
yes,
crawl across the ceiling. Like they have to see an act of pure, like cinematic, you know,
which I
supernatural
think is
ability.
I think is the other part of the problem. And I always say this about the romantic paranormal. You know, movies, Hollywood, all of that has ruined what real paranormal is. So these guys are looking for all these things that have happened in what? Movies.
Yeah,
Think
right.
about it. Instead of like, no, it's not like that. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
subtle things. Sure, every now and then someone might get there. I think I've been knocked on my ass by a spirit before.
right,
I guarantee if that happened to them while they were walking through a cemetery, they'd go, "Oh shit." You
right.
know what I mean?
Or they
Like
would, or the more likely than not, they will convince themselves they tripped.
they tripped. Exactly, even though
Right.
they were standing still.
You
You
know,
know?
they'll say it was, you know, like that. So, and that's look, I get it, I get it. It's not, you know, it's still it's wonderful to talk, and he's very Ben is it's a super fun interview, man. Me and him had a great chat, and he's very smart, and he is a great author, and he's a great investigator. He is a great investigator. He is somebody he really goes out there and you know, he is the guy checking. This is the thing I loved about it. He wants it to. I truly believe this about Ben. He wants it
He
to
wants
happen.
it. Yeah, yeah,
You know, he just wants it to happen to
yeah.
him, and it hasn't yet on that level. And that's what he wants. And that I kind of love. I kind of do love and respect it about
Yeah,
Ben.
that's
You know.
that's definitely different than someone who doesn't believe at
Yeah,
all.
like Jay, like you know, Underdown is you know James Underdown is super funny, and it's like I love it, but he's like this shit's not real. You know, he's just like
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. You know,
yeah, yeah.
and it's great. You know, and but anyway, look, it's a big lineup. I know, right? We just spent a lot of time talking about our future because we've got one,
Yeah, we've
guys.
got a lot of episodes coming out, and it ain't stopping. And on
Again,
that note, Gary,
and as always, guys, I
that's
want
it.
to hear who do you want us to try to reach out to? Let us know. Shoot me, you know, go just use the
Hey, and
Ghost Stories tab or hit us up on Facebook or hit us in the comments. I do get to these comments. I try to get back to everyone and let us know who you want us to meet. I always
not
try to
just
reach
that,
out.
you can also reach out to your favorite person or someone you'd like to see on this,
That's right.
and be like, hey, I'd love to see you get interviewed by,
Yeah,
you know, Gary and John on Splintered Spirits. They ask really good questions.
we
Check out an
appreciate it.
episode.
We appreciate the Splintered Spirit Society going out there for us.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Gary, this has been great.
All right, man. This is a good one, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Again,
you.
Diana. Thanks you to Diana for sharing that story with us. We appreciate you.
That was so awesome.
We want more
Thank you
ghost
for that
stories.
evidence.
We love ghost evidence and ghost stories. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe wherever you're watching right now. And if you're on Santa Paranormal, head over to Splintered. If you're on Splintered, head over to Santa. Facebook, Instagram, guys, we love you. Thank you. That
Thank
is it
you.
for today. Chip coffee on Tuesday.
We,
And that's it. More to come.
yeah.
See you all next week.
Gary, have a good one.
All right, buddy. I'll see you.